Hi everybody. Sparky and I want to listen to the November Pine updates. Hi Linux users! And we thought you might want to join us. So come on, let's go. Sparky's going to go now. See you later, guys! Okay everybody, it's the November update, first impressions. Here we go.
Pro impressions to share, as well as some Pine Time and Pine Dio news. Let's just jump into it. But first, thanks to everyone.
You ever notice you always got to scratch your nose when you start a video?
JF, Alex, Brian, Lucas, and if you want more videos about open source stuff, check out my channel, Pizza Loving Nerd. This is the video version of the community update, so if you want more details, check out the blog post version.
Wow, I'm excited. Hopefully they got the phone working.
Let's start with housekeeping.
Oh.
We set up some automated spam detection systems to
Hi,
combat
Sparky.
a lot of spam that has been plaguing Pine 64.
Sparky says he can't see. He wants me to pick him
The
up.
past 8 weeks have
Okay, there you
seen a
go,
huge
Sparky.
uptick in spam in the channels, so hopefully these systems fix it up for us for a while.
Spam in the channel.
Next up, FOSDEM is going virtual again this year, which prompted us to consider scheduling a dedicated Pine 64 in-person meetup in 2022. We're considering hosting the event in the May-July timeframe, likely somewhere in the heart of Germany. So, if there's enough interest,
There must be a lot of
in the
stuff
event,
going on
we
in
will
Germany
try
for
to set
Pinephone.
something
I
up
notice a
like
lot
this.
of
We would also like to have
people
a
view my
virtual
website
component for
from,
those
or
who
not
are
my
unable to
website, my
travel
YouTube
during the
channel from
pandemic
there.
still. So, make sure to let us know if this is something you would like to arrange in the comment section.
Okay.
Now the Pinephone Pro news.
Shh.
We have closed the Pinephone Pro dev pre-orders 2 weeks ago since the number of applications has far exceeded the amount of available dev units.
Oh,
We are also going
so
to issue the
success.
developer
Good for them.
coupons this week. Dispatching coupons was delayed because of the mainboard issue that is now fixed, but this should not affect the shipping time frame for dev units nor the availability of Explorer Edition units. Lucas has received an early Pinephone unit and has not been able to put the device down. He writes that the UI animations are smooth, applications open very quickly,
Make a call.
and scrolling in the web browser or interacting with elements of an app feel instant. The device does run warm, but not uncomfortably hot.
The device does run warm but not uncomfortably hot. In whose opinion? And what how about some temperatures?
SLC reaches a temperature of 68 degrees after
Ah,
running a load on
68.
all fours for 10 minutes.
That's hot.
Then it drops down to 58 degrees after a minute of cooling down. Another 10 minutes of running Firefox and doing nothing got to 47 degrees, and 55 degrees is the average temperature when doing general web browsing. This is all in Celsius, just so you know.
Well, obviously.
In conclusion, it does technically get hotter than the original Pinephone. However,
It does technically get hotter. However, well, what does that mean? What do you think they're going to say? But that's okay? Now, Sparky, stop it. You're interrupting. Pay attention now. Watch the show.
thanks to the thermal design, it feels cooler than the original Pinephone.
It feels
Although
cooler,
still
but
using it. A couple
Let's not
other
worry about
observations
science, in
that
fact.
you cannot tell from just renders and photos of the Pinephone is that the display's colors are rich and the screen itself
see you
is
later,
gray.
Sparky.
The vibration motor is a lot more powerful than the original
He's very
Pinephone,
fidgety.
and 5 GHz Wi-Fi connectivity has been very good. Thermopad on the back case is much larger and distributes the heat well. The battery is slightly different and labeled with a new phone model, and the SIM card slot and SD card slot are slightly different, as are the buttons on the edge of the phone. As for software, the kernel is still being worked on right now, but everything should work except for the sound, phone calls, camera, USB, and camera flash. Some of these are
You notice phone calls are mentioned in the stuff that doesn't work. Great phone that doesn't make phone calls. It still is the same as the original. A phone that doesn't make phone calls.
They're being worked on already and will be resolved quickly, while other things may take more work for it to be working. More information about the Pinephone Pro software will be following in the coming months as developers get their hands on the device. Next up, the Pinephone keyboard.
Okay, let me stop. Okay, put down your Kool-Aid, people. So, as I said a month ago when this thing came out, it's going to be the exact same thing. It's a hot phone that doesn't work as a phone. And sliding icons up and down on the screen is not what you buy a smartphone for, right? Who cares how fast it is? I watched another video by a guy who's comparing the Pinephone and the Pinephone Pro, which one's faster? Well, duh! Which one do you think is going to be faster? The one with more power, perhaps? What kind of comparison are you, what are you guys doing? How about comparing how it does, neither one of them make phone calls? I'd like to see that, how it fails. Sparky, would you buy a Pinephone? No way, I don't like Pinephone. It doesn't make phone calls. I know, Sparky. Maybe one day, when you're a big cat, you'll be able to have a Pinephone that makes phone calls, and the government can't spy on your phone calls. Maybe if you're lucky, one day. So I'm not seeing much else exciting. Things seem to be quiet since I've been trolling, looking for victims to criticize for their Kool-Aid drinking comments. So I have a great idea though. I think Linus from Tech Tips should throw away his iPhone and start using a Pinephone as his daily driver, along with that Linux laptop he's going to be, or workstation, whatever he's using to do gaming with. I'd like to see him get the full Linux experience and the full Pinephone experience, and I think it's going to make a great video. I challenge Linus to bite the bullet and do what needs to be done. Alright everybody, looks like the November update is a very disappointing one. No improvement in the Pinephone. It's still not anywhere closer to a daily driver, and the Pinephone Pro is just as bad. Anyway, thanks for viewing everybody. Later.